The Philippines sees over 21,000 fresh COVID-19 infections anew, while deaths breach the 35,000 mark. As cases continue to rise, a number of healthcare workers resign or choose not to renew their contracts. Vice President Leni Robredo maintains that failure to disclose the SALNs of officials only adds to public's mistrust. Some parts of the country will continue to experience rain showers due to the habagat enhanced by Typhoon Kiko. And some survivors of the brutal 9/11 terror attack in the United States recall the horror 20 years later. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Philippine General Hospital remains thankful for the 11 volunteer doctors who did not renew their contracts amid the rise of COVID-19 cases. Speaking to us earlier, PGH spokesperson Dr. Jonas Del Rosario said these doctors have to leave due to personal reasons and endeavors. Still, he expressed gratitude towards them for helping the PGH for more than a year.
Very thankful to these people. They have helped us. Some have helped us for more than a year already. And these are doctors who decided to help us, and DOH was kind enough to pay for their salaries.
Del Rosario also urged the public to move on from Harry Roque's outburst against a doctor in an IETF meeting. He said the country should just focus on working together to prevent the further spread of the virus.
Is also probably feeling the pressure. I heard his outburst, and I think he apologized for it already. So I think we just have to move on and let's try to work together.
The health department tallied over 21,400 new COVID-19 cases on Sunday. This has brought our total caseload to 2,227,000, some 181,900 of which are still considered active. At least 168 more deaths were confirmed overnight, bringing the death toll to over 35,000. COVID-19 recoveries are now at over 2 million, with 25,000 new survivors logged in the past 24 hours. Now, around 27% of the 78,200 people tested for today's COVID-19 bulletin were found positive. A recent study has shown that kidney damage is the latest ailment to be identified in a large number of COVID-19 survivors. Let's find out more in this video.
This is really huge. It will really literally shape our lives for probably the next decade or more. We found that people who survive the acute episode of COVID, after 30 days, some of them develop acute kidney injury. Some of them develop EGFR decline, which is sort of a marker of kidney function, meaning that kidney function is declining over time. Some of them develop end-stage kidney disease. Not huge numbers, but an important number, meaning they need to be on dialysis or require kidney transplantation. What's really problematic about kidney disease is it's really silent. Doesn't really manifest in pain or any other symptoms. Over that baseline, there is a 23% increase in the risk of AKI. in people who are not hospitalized at baseline and did not have any kidney problems in the first 30 days. So these people literally thought, they have no problem, everything is good. 30 days went by, they recovered, they quote unquote recovered from COVID. But then over time, they're actually exhibiting increased risk, 23% increased risk of acute kidney injury. Then sort of the global context of thinking about COVID and all the ramifications of COVID, this is sort of an added concern that if this is really happening at a wider scale, and we think it is, it's just a matter of time before we see all of these people hitting the clinics, needing dialysis, needing kidney transplantation. The people on dialysis don't do very well. Annual mortality in people on dialysis is 20%. The numbers may look small, but this is not a small number if you multiply it by the huge number of Americans and also globally who might be ending up with end-stage kidney disease or MAKE or AKI. So this will certainly add burden on the healthcare system.
The National Police has directed its units to ensure that health protocols are followed at malls which serve as voter registration sites. PNP Chief Guillermo Elizar said police commanders must ensure that the voter registration process in the areas should not be super spreader events. Elizar also ordered police officers to always observe a maximum tolerance and treat those inside the malls with utmost respect.
Maaring dagsain ang mga satellite voters registration sa mga malls lalo na sa mga huling araw ng buwang ito. Kaya dapat lamang na paghandaan ito dahil nasa gitna pa din tayo ng pandemya kung saan iba yung pag-iingat pa din ang kinakailangan.
Although officially out of the Philippine area of responsibility, Typhoon Kiko continues to enhance the southwest monsoon or habagat. Right now, Typhoon Kiko is located some 525 kilometers north of Itbayat, Batanes. All tropical cyclone signals are now lifted, but the enhanced habagat will continue to bring rains in some areas in the next 24 hours. Now, these include Batanes, Babuyan Islands, Ilocos Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, and western parts of central Luzon. Expect strong breeze for those near the coastal areas. Now, others are warned of possible flash floods and landslides. It's been 20 years already since the 9/11 attack happened, but survivors still recall the horror as if it was just yesterday. Mobile journalist Stanley Gahete gives us a front seat to the story.
Till this day, when I tell the story, it brings tears to my eyes because it was a very sad event.
For Eda Lacapra, it was a nightmare she wants to forget after surviving a terrorist attack exactly 20 years ago today. In 2001, two planes slammed into the World Trade Center. The world was surprised when Al-Qaeda militants hijacked 4 planes and crashed them in America's symbol of power in New York and Washington. It was an ordinary day for Eda, who worked at an investment company in the Twin Towers. There were no signs of danger until pandemonium broke when she emerged from the subway.
There were police officers that were running, screaming at us, telling us to get out because they believed it was a bomb.
Eda did not see the plane when it hit the first building, but was shocked when a second plane crashed into the second tower.
And when it did, the debris came crashing down on us. Fortunately, my coworker was bright enough to pull me aside behind another building.
Eda saw people jumping out of the burning building about to collapse.
So imagine that it was very hot with the fire blazing, which to me was a very, very shocking event.
More than 3,000 people died and about 25,000 were injured. That day, September 11, changed the world. It launched America's war on terror, which ended last month where it started in Afghanistan. The attack shook America. It was not prepared.
Confusion and mayhem. I felt like I was in a movie.
Looking back, Eda was thankful to be alive.
I have a new perspective on life, still to this day. Couldn't believe that it happened. It's sort of like a nightmare that keeps recurring.
I am Stanley Gahete and we are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Vice President Leni Robredo criticized Ombudsman Samuel Martirez's latest remarks on government officials refusing to disclose their SALN. Robredo said keeping such documents from the public would add mistrust with the government. Martirez earlier proposed penalties to individuals who would comment on government's official SALNs. A political analyst predicted a four-cornered fight for presidency in the 2022 elections. Speaking to the Chiefs, law professor Antonio Lavinia said the presidential race may come down to the following: a candidate endorsed by President Duterte, an opposition candidate, Senator Manny Pacquiao, and Senator Panfilo Lacson. Lavinia said the opposition candidate might be Vice President Leni Robredo or Manila Mayor Isko Moreno. And John Arcilla won the Volpe Cup Best Actor Award at the 78th Venice International Film Festival. Arcilla won the coveted Best Actor Award for his portrayal of Sisoy Salas in Eric Mati's film On the Job, The Missing Eight. He is the first Southeast Asian actor to bag the award. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.